Mike Keenan, his former coach in Philadelphia, had a big love for this skater. He invited him to the 1987 Canada Cup. Didn't make the squad, but that drew a lot of interest because when he came out of major junior, he didn't have the numbers that may have justified a 44th overall pick. But the Flyers saw something in 1983, especially because of his great AAA season with Wexford in 82, where he had 82 points in 45 games for, again, the Ontario AAA side. Now, Peterborough was the team for Derrick Smith when he was drafted. Now, with the Petes, he was a high priority with them entering 82, as he was their fourth-round pick, 56 overall, in the 82 OHL priority selection. Now, 6'1", 185, good two-way player. Eventually became a two-time Stanley Cup finalist with Philadelphia in 85 and 87. He started his career with a spurt. He had an assist in his first NHL game, which was also Philadelphia's first goal of the 85 season, which of course led to the Stanley Cup final run against Edmonton. Now, he led all NHL rookie forwards with a plus 28 rating in that 85 campaign. He also finished second among all the NHL rookies in several defensive categories. Now, 87-88 was rough. He hurt his back in November of 87, put up for a short while. Also had a bad shoulder injury in February of 89. Now again, broken left foot at the start of the 89 training camp, sprained right ankle later on, and also developed a toe infection, and took about 2 months of his season in 1989. Now, bad rib injury on February 1990 threw him out of the lineup for a little while. Now, he was also well respected by his peers. He was a nominee for the 1990 NHL Budweiser Man of the Year award. Now, he also missed part of the 91 season with a sprained left knee, an injury suffered during the Flyers game against Hartford on December 20th, 1990. He missed part of the 92 season with a separated shoulder, which he suffered during Minnesota's March 9th, 92 game at Chicago. He did not return to action until mid-April. He also was part of the Minnesota team that relocated to Dallas on June 9th, 93. Now, he was IHL All-Star second team with Kalamazoo after his career started to wear down, and he was captain of the squad in 93. Now, he never had played in the minor leagues until Minnesota signed him to Kalamazoo for a conditioning stint on November 27, 91. During this time, he suffered a broken ankle in Kalamazoo's December 8 game at Fort Wayne and did not return to action until January 92. He eventually signed with Baton Rouge again as an ECHL unrestricted free agent on March 23, 1999. Now, Philadelphia by 1991 were changing around their players. They placed Smith on waivers on October 26th of that year, where Minnesota had claimed him. Now, 10 seasons in the NHL with the Flyers, the North Stars, and the Dallas Stars. And again, another one of the graduates from the Quebec International Pee Wee Hockey Tournament, where he played with the prestigious Toronto Young Nationals minor hockey squad in 1978. Now, we're talking about the OPJHL's numbers, 82 points in 82, but his last season with the Petes after his draft year was pretty prestigious. He had 66 points in the regular season, including 30 goals and 8 points in the playoffs. Now, rookie season with Philadelphia, 39 points in 77 games, and from then on, again, one of the better defensive forwards. 87 was a weird campaign for him. He almost played 100 games combined in the regular season and playoffs. He played 26 games for the Flyers. Flyers had a long road to Stanley Cup final in 87, especially he had that tough series against Montreal before he played the Oilers. 32 points in the regular season, 10 in the playoffs. Now, when he went over to Minnesota, he again sent to the minors for a little while, played a good season in Kalamazoo with 22 goals in 93. Now, with the Dallas Stars, he only played one game when the team shifted. From 94 again to 99, he was a bastion in the IHL. A lot of people thought he was going to make it back, especially with his combined 74 goals and 132 points in the 94-95 season with Kalamazoo. Now, he eventually went to the Michigan K-Wings from 96 to 98, and then the Baton Rouge Kingfish. But one thing that really stood out about Derrick, his career with Philadelphia, he had numerous chances to win the Stanley Cup, and he was that key third and fourth line player, a good solid two-way player, could play the Peterborough style. You can't teach size, 6'2", 210. Now, with that type of size, you think you get into a lot of big battles. But it reminded me kind of a Brian Skrudlin or even a less violent Mike McPhee. The big seasons where they needed him to be consistent, well, of course, was 85 and 87. And, 45 playoff games in those two seasons. I don't think people recognize Derrick's contributions enough because, it took all those role players on the third and fourth line to make it go. So again, thank you to Bo Sheaves for another great request on our vintage line. But again, if you're a Flyers fan, that 1980 squads, the two lost cups that a lot of people call it, I don't think the Flyers would have lost to any other team but the Oilers. The Oilers were just outscoring them. Philadelphia was a better defensive team, but Edmonton was the better offensive team. And at 87, remember the 3-1 comeback? They almost won Game 7. Let me tell you, it was one goalie can do it, but when you're not scoring goals, like I think the final was 3-1, you got to score and hold the lead against Edmonton. But that was the signs that Edmonton was starting to fade in 87. And I think, no offense, you could see the writing on the wall that Edmonton was making changes because I think the new NHL was going to leave them behind. But, that's the way it goes. But, ladies and gentlemen, that's the legend of Derrick Smith. If you like what we're doing here, give us a like, comment, subscribe, and requests are always appreciated and always considered. Thanks. Bye.